Hey guys, how's it going? Andrew here, Enough Said Cards. I hope you're all doing well. Today I went to the CSA show in Chantilly, Virginia. Actually, the last 3 days I went to the show, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And it's a big show held normally 3 times a year. So it was really good to get back to a show and, meet up with some people and look at cards. And I had a great time. Didn't actually buy a whole lot, but I did get one nice T206 card of a Hall of Famer to add to my collection, which I'll show you in a minute. And some other smaller stuff also. But I figured this would be a good opportunity to just do a showcase of all my T206 Hall of Famers. So I pulled them all out, and I'm just going to go through them one by one. And actually, before I get to the T206s, I have two other cards that I'm going to show. Obviously, I will never own the Honus Wagner or the Eddie Plank, but I do have cards of those players that I kind of got to replace the T206s. And for Eddie Plank, I have this E95, which is the same picture. On the T206, it has a blue background. And for those of you that are not familiar with T206s, the Eddie Plank is very difficult to find and very expensive, and I will not likely ever own one, short of winning the lottery. So this is my replacement, and I think that's a nice looking card. And for Honus Wagner, I have this 1910 Tip Top Red, which also has a similar look to it, yellow background, a portrait of Honus Wagner. So I was happy to grab that one. So I guess I'll start with the card I picked up actually yesterday. And this is T206 Chief Bender pitching pose with trees in background. There's also one similar card, but doesn't have the trees. And he also has a portrait. And this is an SGC5. I just thought it was a really nice card. The registration, which is something that I always look for, is almost perfect, and really nice bold color. Centering is pretty nice. So Piedmont 350 back. So that was my big pickup for the show. Sorry for that glare there. All right, so the rest of the cards I'm going to show are all my T206 Hall of Famers. With the exception of this next card, they're not going to be in any particular order, but I'm going to show this one first. It's the green Cobb portrait. And I've told this story many times, but this is kind of the card that started my obsession with pre-war. My father bought this card, I remember the day, at a show in Boston in the mid-'80s, and paid $20 for this card. And several years ago, I got it graded. This is a 2. So not the greatest example of this card, but this card means a lot to me, so this one will not ever be replaced. So that's the green Cobb. And the rest of these we're just going to kind of do in random order. Here is the Eddie Collins portrait, PSA5, with a Piedmont 350 back. And with most of the cards that you're going to see tonight, you'll see that registration is important for me. Centering also. That's kind of what I look for. Next up, this is the Frank Chance portrait with the yellow background. This is a SGC3. Another Piedmont 350. Okay, this is Wee Willie Keeler SGC3. This is actually one, most of these are in my collection to stay. Don't have any intentions on upgrading any of them, maybe with the exception of this one. Got this one a long time ago for really super cheap. So cheap I couldn't pass it up. This is a sweet Capital 350. So I'm happy to have it. At some point, if I find one that I like better, that maybe has a little better registration, a little better color, I might upgrade that one. But in the meantime, happy with that one. Let's see. We'll do the red Cobb. This one's actually sort of orangish background there, which some of them have. But again, I was drawn to this one for the almost perfect registration. You can see in his face there. Good centering. This is a 1. Probably one of the nicer ones you'll ever see. Does have some damage there, and the grade is because of this staining on the back, and there's a little bit of residue where this was taken out of a scrapbook. But I got a really good deal on this card a while back before the prices kind of jumped up, so happy to get this one. Okay, next up, Clark Griffith, SGC5. Another card where I like the registration and color. Piedmont 150. Rube Marquard portrait, SGC 2.5. This one I almost think could bump up. This is a really nice card. Not exactly sure why it's a 2.5. I think it could at least get a 3, but I don't really care enough to try. Piedmont 350. Napoleon Lajoie portrait. This is a PSA 4.5. Piedmont 350. Here is Jimmy Collins, SGC 3. This is another one that I got a long time ago. I may at some point, I forgot about this one also, may at some point try to upgrade this one, but only if I come across a good deal and, you know, really nice card. Not going out of my way to find one. Let's see. How about Johnny Evers, SGC 4. I really like the color on this one. Really nice, bold, dark color. And again, really good registration. This one's a little off center. But just like the look of this card. And this one's a sovereign. All right, Walter Johnson. This is a SGC 5. This card is actually overgraded. It wouldn't get a 5 if it was graded today. I think more like a 4. But pretty nice card. And I was able to get this one also before the prices kind of went crazy. So happy with that one. Next up, let's do this one. Addy Joss pitching. Piedmont 350, and this is a PSA 3. All right, let's do the other Addy Joss. This is the portrait PSA 2.5. This one actually, now that I'm looking at it, maybe at some point upgrade this one also, but a nice card. All right, let's do this one. Joe Tinker. This is a SGC 6. This is the highest graded card, T206 card that I have. I got this in REA a couple years ago. Really in amazing shape. Nice big wide white borders. Good registration. And sweet cap 150. All right, here is Napoleon Lajoie throwing pose. This is a SGC3. Acquired this one in a trade at the, I think it was the White Plains show within the last couple of years. Piedmont 150. All right, Cy Young portrait. This is a PSA 1.5. And for those of you that have been following my channel for a while, I've owned a couple of these before I settled on this one. And the other two I had were higher grade, but I actually like this one better. And I acquired this one in a trade also. The corners don't really bother me. I really like the color, the registration. And I don't know, something about this one I just liked. Sweet Capital 150. All right, this is Ed Walsh, Psa5. Always kind of like the color on this one. That background color is really unique. Kind of contrasts well with the dark Chicago jersey. And two more. Bobby Wallace, Psa5. And Mordecai Brown, also Psa5. All right, so that's it. That's all my T206 Hall of Famers. I have a bunch of other T206s, but these are the Hall of Famers, and couple bigger ones still yet to find. I need a Christy Mathewson portrait, which I had at one time. That's another story, but I need a Mathewson portrait, and I'm just being super picky about that one. I've passed on a bunch of them, just kind of want to get exactly the look that I want. And then a few others that I'll pick up along the way, some kind of lower tier Hall of Famers that I'll just get when I see them. So that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. I will catch up with you soon. Bye.